two teams in Serie A after 6 games. Inter perfect with 6 wins out of 6. Juventus just the 2 points behind them. The odds makers actually make Inter slight favourites to win this at home. Juventus close to 2-1 for the win. You get just over 2-1 on the draw. Gab, let's start with you. It's always a massive game, isn't it? But many are calling this the biggest derby d'Italia in close to a decade. Why?
Simply because it's really the first time in close to a decade that Inter actually look like legitimate contenders. They've won every game thus far in Serie A. They're coming off a Champions League week where they went to the Camp Nou in Barcelona, and for more than an hour they played really, really well, and then perhaps had a dip at the end. And so all these factors together, coupled with all the subtext here, obviously you've got Antonio Conte and Beppe Marotta going back to take on Juventus. You've got Diego Godin against Cristiano Ronaldo, renewing old rivalries there. You've got so many things going on the side as well that I think there is a sense that people are ready after so many years of Juventus dominance for somebody to go and deliver the title, and it would be quite a story if it were Conte who does it.
Conte against Sarri, of course, Gab, the battle of the recently deposed Chelsea coaches. Let's get to the teams that you expect to see out there, Gab. Start with Inter. What are the starting 11 are we looking at?
Well, obviously, Romelu Lukaku missing out in midweek. He should be fit again, so he's up front. There's no Alexis Sanchez, who's suspended, of course, foolishly suspended, I might add, but I don't think he would have started anyway. Danilo D'Ambrosio coming in on the right wing, most likely for Candreva. Beyond that, it's really Inter's best 11 with the 3 centre backs and that really explosive midfield. Led by Stefano Sensi with Barella and Brozovic as well.
And what about Juventus, Gab? Dybala and Ronaldo are starting to click.
Yeah, some debate about whether it's Dybala and Ronaldo or whether it's going to be Higuain and Cristiano up front. Some debate over the formation too. There's a lot more uncertainty here, which sounds weird when you think it's a Sarri team. We know that his best 11 would have Douglas Costa out on the wing, and that 4-3-3, which turns into a 4-4-2 off the ball. But there is no Douglas Costa, so the thinking is we're going to see somebody in the hole. It could be Aaron Ramsey. We think it will be Aaron Ramsey. It could be Bernardeschi. Also the option of Bernardeschi lining up as sort of the third man in that 3-prong attack in midfield. Probably what right now you would say is his first choice 3, and Pjanic, Khedira, and Matuidi. Cuadrado continues at right back, in part because De Sciglio and Danilo are both out, in part because he's done a pretty decent job there, and obviously Chiellini, but we know that he's not going to be back until the new year, so it's De Ligt partnering Bonucci.
Delicious prospect, isn't it, Craig?
Yep. Big one for Ramsey as well. I know he has played, but as Gab said, the Juve team's a bit more hard to gauge because Sarri has changed it around and they have a big squad. But it's another marker down for Inter, who've started the season fantastically well. Okay, they had a big challenge in midweek, which they lost, but they certainly weren't disgraced. And they did have chances against a Juve side who haven't quite hit the straps yet. And I think Gab's mentioned this before. I think one of the big things at Inter is not just the fact that they've got some new faces in the playing field, is the fact that they've got Antonio Conte in has given the fans a lot of hope as well. And here's a guy that goes to Juve when they're lingering around 7th, I think, the previous season. He turns it round. He goes to Chelsea, has a bad start, then he turns it round. That season they win the league. And to get off to 6 games in the league and a winning start, I think has given everybody and rightly so, a lot to look forward to. But the 2 biggest tests are all coming within 4 or 5 days, and then we'll get a good gauge of where Inter are by Sunday night.
And coming off that loss against Barcelona as well.
I'm interested to see how Conte goes about this. Because of the trip midweek to Barcelona, and yes, they played well for an hour, as Gab said, but ultimately they lost. Is he going to try and sit a little bit and try and save some energy because of what they gave during the week, or will he try and take advantage of that extra man in the middle of the park? Because it's 5 against 4, in my opinion. if they play with 3, because you know Sarri won't, which way does he go? I can't make my mind up whether he goes on the front foot or whether he goes conservative.
Yeah, you get the sense after a slow start, Juventus are starting to enjoy their football now under Maurizio Sarri.
Yeah, they're starting to figure things out as you'd expect. Listen, Juventus are still Juventus, and they're 8 times defending champions for a reason. I still think that this is Juventus that hasn't hit its full stride just yet. I feel they can go up a gear or 2, and De Ligt, who is come in and will be playing seemingly for the long term now, I don't think he's found his confidence either just yet alongside Bonucci. In terms of catching Juventus, this is about as good a time now for Inter to get something out of it. And I think they can.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.